Alright, there we go. I'm all set. Let's see. Chat, I gotta... There we go. There we go. Minimize. We're all set. Howdy, Xavier. Good to see you. Oh, there's the ring. Is that tree trunk Velka? Yes, sure. Velka is everything. I hope my Godefroy posts were good for comparing the Godfrey post. I saw that extra E in there and I immediately read Godefroy. Anyway, the Godfrey posts, yeah, I think they were useful, Xavier. Oh, God, the French have corrupted me. Probably appropriate whether I'm using them. Early. Dragon Lungery, Somber Smithing Stone, Arun Arc, Arteria Leaf. Let's see. Yeah, so we don't have to deal with too much of that clipping with the guy on the ground, right? Though honestly, all their cloaks are clipping like madmen. It looks awful. Whatever. It is what it is. Weird noble circle chair cult, yeah. Alright. As we were. Oh. Do you think America's kingdom had currency? Yes, presumably. They have to be trading in something. I doubt it was just barter. I don't know if we ever get to see any of what that currency would be, though. I guess you could argue they may have traded in runes. That might have been the currency, which is why it's the thing that everyone trades in currently. Rather than coin. But yeah, I imagine they had to have some form of exchanging value outside of a barter economy. So maybe it was runes. Am I crazy, chat? Shouldn't there be something we can use to get around here? Huh. Maybe it has to be the upper range. There's a page buying some more perfumer bolts in Lingdell. A page? Oh, you mean the guy who stands at the counter with the priest, right? The cleric, the perfumer? Like the perfumer's behind the counter and the page is just sort of standing at them? Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, this is the route we're supposed to go. Gotcha. Forgot for a little bit there. Good to know. It's very possible to get shots like this. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna look at my existing shots. Where is it? These are screenshots. Let's go to Dragon Barrel. Oh yeah, so this foggy, rainy shot would normally be what we'd have to get if we were doing things normally, but we don't do things normally anymore. Alright, let's look at other shots now. Yeah, I probably want to change up the angle and stuff by going back to that cave. Outside of that, though, I don't think... Yeah, most of this looks really good, to be perfectly frank. Yeah, most of this looks fine, thankfully. Let's look at Grail's Dragon Barrow in general, just in case the wider shots. I'm not saying anything too crazy. Oh, right. We do have this shot of the dragon barrel, but the flowers on the ground. Yeah, I remember this. Can we recreate that, I wonder? You haven't installed the weather mod yet? No, I have not. Somehow my frustration levels have not motivated me that far quite yet. I'm trying to remember, actually, where the hell I got this shot. It was somewhere, like, here. Yeah, the flowers are here. Yeah, it was like this. Okay, yeah. Yeah, now I've got it lined up almost perfectly. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so it's something like this. Yeah. And the question is figuring out just where exactly I want to stop the... Something like this. Why so many screenshots? Because I need reference images for my website if you look at the analyses there. So, the more screenshots I get of places, and the higher the quality of the screenshots, the better. It directly correlates. Yeah, it's surprisingly difficult to find the exact angle you want. Yeah, I don't want something too high up. Right. This will do for now, just so that way I can come back and get maybe a better option as a second opinion later, right? But for now, this will do. There we go. Let me make sure we have the high definition stuff, see if that changes anything. Yeah, higher LOD is always the better option. What analysis would you use photos of my Farm Azula flowers? Probably a Farm Azula thesis itself, if I had to guess. Hey, Nicolino, good to see ya. Hello, Night Scout. How's the climbing going? We just started, Raijin. In fact, I technically haven't even done the actual climbing part yet. We're just there at the entrance. Anyway, yeah, we could get more shots of this stuff another time. That's a good test case, though, for me to look at later. Alright, back here. Alright. Looking at Nardi's Caelid doc, she didn't want to go do some climbing and stuff, so I said, you know what, that'll be tonight's, because I don't have time for a really long one anyway, so... There we go. Done. this in place. Play with the time of day here. There we go. That's reasonable. Let's also try nighttime because the fire's here. There we go. And back to midday. There we go. Divine Towers have a few details that seem to be the closest match to the Sun Capital's windows. I'm not so sure about that when I look at it, but maybe. Let's... Always worth taking a second look. Now the problem is that I have no idea where exactly Nardi got frustrated and didn't want to continue, so I kind of just have to wing it. Oh! Oh boy. Loki should get hired from FromSoft and be their head writer. Nah, you know what? I'll leave that to Miyazaki. He seems perfectly content. I'm happy just being a fan. I don't need the added frustration. She said facing Dragon Barrow, so it might have been something like over here. Yet unfortunately I don't... Stone Sword Key. Again, I have to go check her list again, see if this is the one she was talking about. Just in case. Gonna leave a screenshot for her. Look, only wants to take pictures. Yeah, you know what? I'm perfectly happy taking pictures of their worlds. I don't need to be involved in the design process. I really don't. Oh! Nope. First death! I knew that was gonna happen. Oh, I haven't entered the tower on this character either yet, so that's gonna be an added fun little detail. Woo! Yeah, I'm not sure about the windows, Night Scout. These seem like pretty like typical, maybe even, might even argue maybe Gothic-esque. I don't know, these feel very generic to me looking at them. God, I love the meteors in these towers, though. Oh. Ah! Oh. Hey, Pedro. But hear me out, look, you can get paid to take pictures. Nah. Nah. Unless there's a wiki or something that really likes my pictures and they want to like pay for like licensing or something. I don't think I'm ever making anything off this. All the money I make is from you guys buying my books. I'm perfectly okay with that. Just in case. I don't think we can make that, right, chat? Like, we cannot... Yeah, we can't bridge that gap. So we want to go up here. Well, yeah, that's impossible. Okay, so we have to go this way. Alright, so we went that away, and now we have to go this away. But I cannot go this way. Okay. Uh-huh. Alright, so there's that thing there. To get there, we have to go here. To go here, we have to go over here. To go there, we have to end up here. And to drop down there... Actually, how the hell does the game expect you to... Oh, okay, okay, I see how you gotta do the jump. But okay. I see how the game now expects you to do this. Okay, never mind. Alright, so we have to do the jump around over here to get to... Okay. Cool. Ah! Well, I tried. Hey, Rapucha! There we go. Ah! Alright, chat. This is gonna sound really stupid. I forgot how I got over to that item in the first place. This is what the power of being a dumbass does to you. Okay, I think I figured it out. Woo! Okay. Alright, got the item. Then we go up this way. Okay. Now, I'm gonna do something really stupid, chat. I'm gonna turn off ×5 speed, and we're gonna do this normally. Why is this stupid? Because it's me. Woo! Woo! The most surprising thing is this strategy worked. There we go. Thanks for the bolts, man. Alright. Woo! Woo! Okay. Any items I should be aware of right now? Nope. Still nothing showing up here. There's that item over there. We can't make that. So you'd have to go here, drop down this way. Okay, yeah, we can do that. We can do that, chat. But first, let's get the easy, oh my god. Never mind, chat, we need the, where's that ×5 speed? I miss it. I miss it so badly. What's playing in the background? This was a recommendation from Raijin. It was Civ 6, one of the French themes. Whew. All right, let's do this again now. Ready? There we go, buddy. Yeah. Woo. Go up this way, right? There we go. Newman's Rune, okay. Again. Wait! Oh my fucking god, Miyazaki! You asshole! Oh god, that's so obvious in retrospect. Alright, in case there's no better option. Gosh. There we go. By the way, what represents the wall ornamented details in the White Tower? Kind of hard to tell through the perspective and their big portion in general. I mean, it seems to be a bunch of different things, like creatures, animals, random shapes in some cases. It's hard to tell if any of it is lore relevant, but there we go. Get some higher LOD now. So far you found a stone sword key on a body in front of Redmane Castle, Newman's Room on Noble's body, look at the Bestial Sanctum. Yeah, so far those are the only 2 items outside. I don't know if those are the only 2 items, though, that Nardi was looking for. Let me look at her notes right now. Kaled. So let's see. Okay, so she notes the Newman rune. On the face of the tower that faces Dragon Barrow, but I'm too aggravated to get it. I think that's the other rune, because she doesn't... No, that's the Stone Sword key. Yeah, okay, yeah, because she mentions the Newman rune, but she's not mentioning the Stone Sword key here. Okay, so that wasn't that hard, Nardi. Okay, I think what happened was Nardi was trying to find her way back from the Site of Grace, and that was probably what was causing her frustration. Yeah. Well, it was the Stone Sword key. We got that. Yeah, noted. Yeah, Newman rune is noted here, so... I now want to get shots of this, because that didn't register for me when I was reading through the doc. There we go. Ah, damn. Alright. There we go. This is how you cheat it, chat. Now the question is, yeah, the corpse is still there. Good. Alright, let's try to do this again now. Hello there, sir. Your textures are a little rough, but that's okay. We can work with that. Yep, this is good. I love how we tell you things, then you forget, and when you see it yourself, you realize that's a big deal. Well, that's how it is sometimes. I don't remember things all the time. Though, to be fair, a lot of times what you guys tell me usually is something in isolation. So it's not like you guys are telling me, oh, look, this is why it's a big deal. Usually it's something that I'll find the connection on my own. I forget, does this actually lead anywhere, chat? Okay, yeah, this is the... No, wait, what? How did I get myself turned around? Huh? Okay, no, it's literally just... Oh, no, this is the way to open the... Okay. Right. Okay, yeah, okay, never mind. This is the way to go up, and the rest is to go down to the boss fight. Okay. Okay. Curiously, if we get these Redmane troops and the Black Flame Monk near each other, they never aggro. That's neat. Oh yeah, this is the rock thing. What if the corpse moved? Corpse moving wouldn't be unprecedented. We had that in Dark Souls 3, so it's not the craziest idea. I guess Bloodborne technically had corpses moving too, but that wasn't like, you know, the typical corpse you would drop an item on type of thing. Maybe they're dissidents? I don't think so. I don't think the Redmane, they are dissidents from the army. You can argue whether or not they're working with the Black Monks and stuff, given the way they're positioned. The aggro values might be relevant, but it could just be a case of they never expected those enemies to cross paths with the way that this area is laid out. I'm surprised you're loaded, buddy. The boss room isn't loaded. I don't think the boss is either, yeah. The chest is, that's funny. Anyway. Alright, there we go. But yeah, I'm not so sure. Considering that the rune is here, I'm not surprised that Radagon's, sorry, not Radagon, Radagon's army is here. The most curious thing about this tower is why it's the only tower that doesn't have a proper bridge or anything to help connect to it. Why do we have to access this wall area facing here? Now, one idea I put forth is maybe there was a bridge, but it was a bridge connecting to Farum Azula, and it collapsed when Farum Azula disappeared, so it's at the bottom of the ocean right now. Similar to what we would argue about what happened to the bridge leading to this tower, right? There'd be a bridge that connects all the way to over there where the fortified manor is, that presumably also has completely collapsed. With, well, you can see the damage. Yeah, exactly. Maybe it was part of Farum Azula and it flew away, right? That's the big question, though. Because unlike, say, with the bridges, where it's like, oh, we have the bridge, but it's broken, and then we have the teleport warp point to take us to the tower instead, we don't have any, like, ruins or anything that's, like, sticking out of here to be like, hey, look, here's the remnant of where our bridge once was, right? They just plot the model here by itself, so... It's not something where it's, like, as definitive / obvious as it could be. Granted, they kind of do the same thing here with the model, so, again, it's not like it's unworkable. Let's see. Okay, that's enough, looking around. Like I said, today's gonna be a short one, chat, so... Just want to grab some pictures I need, / want, move on. I'm gonna try grabbing this picture with the corpse from over here. Here. Why is it not happening, chat? Hello? Also, we're getting into higher LOD is always causing trouble. Maybe one day, chat, I'll get that computer upgrade and I'll be able to run the higher LOD all the time without causing frame dips. But today is not that day. Am I crazy, chat? I could have swore we had no rain when we were walking over here originally. What the hell is going on? I swear, Dragon Barrow has so much obnoxious weather. It might actually make me install that stupid mod. Look at that! No, okay, first off, let's see. Does the corpse appear if we're just here? I'm going to assume no. Yeah, I'm not seeing it, so I don't think it appears if we're here. Alright. Oh my god. There we go. Still no. Some enemies and stuff do appear, but it's on the far side. Anything yet? Nope. That's not the trigger. Okay. Damn. I think I might have to get on the actual routes. Yeah, I might actually have to do that. Let's see. Great Divine Tower would have to be unique no matter what. Yeah, for sure, for sure. It stands out from the rest, which is why it's a curious case. Let's say the connecting points where a bridge would go. That doesn't really matter much, especially with these games and how they handle assets and stuff. Like I said, the Divine Tower here is very clearly supposed to have the bridge that cuts off there, leading all the way to the tower over here. But there is no obvious point for where a bridge would connect there either. They just have the model and stuff. Because again, these are just different assets they make, and then they kind of just overlap them if they ever want to kind of force a connection. That's how it works with the other Divine Bridges too. Alright, so does this do it? Let's move there. Yeah, nothing. It doesn't load anything. We have to move a little closer. Okay. There we go. Right? Come on. Oh my god. Alright, I just gotta hope it doesn't rain, chat. I'm just gonna hope it doesn't rain. Moving here. There we go. Yeah, okay, and the textures are now not as wonky. I'm gonna grab this and move on. Alright, so Crucible's End should be ready today, and we'll be able to come out with the thesis by tomorrow morning. So that's cool. Happy to have that finally done for. Or done with, I guess I should say. Yeah, okay, let's get rid of as much of that grass clipping through the corpse as possible. It's not needed. Yeah, this will be good. I think this is fine. Let's quickly have the high LOD. Perfect. Coolio. There we go. Got the exact screenshot I wanted. Beautiful. Alright, so that's done. We don't care about what we lost there. We got the item. I can't believe that Nardi sent me on a wild goose chase just to find a goddamn stone sword key. Story of my life, huh? Where do I want to look again? Ailing Village? No, not really needed there. We got the plan. Oh, you know what? It's the vessels. That's what I was looking for, right? How many do we have right now? Elden Ring, Limgrave. There we go. Where's Minor Erdtree? Actually, did I even separate? Yeah, I don't think I separated from Minor Erdtree. Mistwood Ruins we have here. Mistwood. Am I crazy, Chad? I could have swore there was a vessel underneath at the foot of this. I guess I can look for it first in there, and then I can try to see if I can get a good shot of it. Alright, let's move on. I wonder if this noble, if he was an ancient Newman, might indicate where Farum Azula was on the ground. I don't know whether or not the noble being an ancient Newman or not is important, but just the idea that we have a noble with a Newman rune staring at the Farum Azula, I think the storytelling that Miyazaki/FromSoft are trying to tell us there is very direct. It's like, oh, okay. This goes back to the idea that the Newman were part of Farum Azula culture. Maybe it's supposed to be like some surviving Newman who died on the tower, I suppose. It could also just be a sign that maybe a noble, a regular like noble from America's Kingdom who picked up the ruin, and maybe was starting to reminisce or something. Yeah, so this could work. I forget, can we get the Mistwood to disappear by going here? I don't think so. I think we have to go this way. There we go. Alright. Oh no, but none of the flowers spawn. Oh my. And the vessel's not there either, is it? It isn't. Damn. Could the Divine Tower not have a bridge as a means to seal in the followers of the Black Flame? Possibly, but that assumes that someone, a party, knew that the Black Flame followers were there and thus made a point to, destroy a means of which to access the tower. Of course, outside of the way Radahn's people seem to have done it, which is, you know, climb. Crazy thought, I know. Yeah, there's no way of making that work, is there? Damn. Does going a little higher fix that? No. Damn. Ugh! That's frustrating, chat. Ooh! Alright, chat, seems like it's struggling. It was struggling for a minute to figure out what it was doing. Damn, it's still not spawning it in, though. Ugh! Yeah, I don't know, because it seems like the idea with the Black Flame followers we find is that they're kind of just doing their own thing, and some of them are going into mostly obscure places where they're not going to be easily found out, right? So I'm not sure if we can really trace this back to specifically, someone's intention, as it were. Yeah, there's no way we're gonna... Yeah, going farther away doesn't help. Alright, so when exactly do these spawn? No, okay. How about now? Nope. What if we're by the map? No, damn! Like, really? We're not... Alright, they're starting to spawn these in, but the vessel doesn't spawn in. Where the hell am I? Ah, there's the tree. I was like, where the hell is this tree? I'm passing it, that's why. Okay. Golden sunflowers here. Still no vessel, though. God, that really sucks. So I really have to just accept getting the fog. I mean, okay, I guess it characterizes the region, so I can't complain too hard. Let's see if we can play with the time of day now. Hello, McB. Are you new to the chat? I don't recognize the name. If so, welcome. If not, sorry, I got a goldfish memory. What would be an interesting twist is we find Miquella in the DLC, but it's actually a mimic or something similar. That would be kind of cool, I suppose. That Miquella is actually somewhere or someone else. I guess we'll have to see when the DLC comes out what they plan to do with the character. Oh. 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 Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, this one's tough, chat. We'll do higher LOD. I think that's good enough, right? Only credit to my name is finding the Fire and Wolf cutscene left over hand. Well, you know what? If you did that, congrats to you. I'm very happy that you did so. Because, honestly, I am appreciative of any Dark Souls 3 cut content, especially when it comes to some of the cut bosses like the old Wolf of Faron, so... If you are involved in that, well, thank you. I'll have to remember your name for the future. Welcome on in. Loki always hates ambiance. What's wrong with ambiance? The problem is fucking... The problem is not ambiance, Xavier. It's the fact that this fog and this rain, which I would love in any other situation, has to be constantly there, distracting from the shots I want to take. Hates my ambiance. Bull crap! No, but seriously, I really do need to install that mod at some point. All my problems are 100% solvable. I just refuse to go through the trouble of modding my game for when I inevitably want to unmod it. Oh, we'll take another shot here. Wish they didn't cut the Grave of the Gods in Dark Souls 3. Yeah, the Divine Graves area would have been cool to include. But you know what? I'm not going to second guess what the developers decided on when it comes to cut content, because typically when they cut the content, it's for a good reason. Because, hey, who wants to waste all that time and effort making something just to cut it, right? So I'm sure there would have been some narrative reason that was better to get rid of it. I actually really like that, chat. I think that actually is workable. Mistwood Elevator Chamber might give you a Moonlight Altar effect where the special skybox disappears outside. I don't know. Because correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I vaguely remember us trying that before and it didn't really work. I remember there being problems with that. I may be misremembering, but I think that's what happened. There we go. All right, I think we have some options, chat. I'm gonna post some of these in the Discord after the stream, so you guys can vote which one you think would be a better reference image. Again, this is gonna be specifically in the context of showcasing for viewers the vessels that are placed at the foot of minor Erd trees occasionally. That's what the goal of these are, so... You'll love taking shots at Silent Hill where the fog rarely leaves the place, if not never. Well, good thing I'm not a Silent Hill lore channel. Thank God I'm not doing that then, because I do not want to deal with any more fog in these games. Yeah, I can't get another really good time of day angle I like. Ooh, or maybe here. Alright, so these are going to be the options, chat. This might sound silly, but can you drop a glowstone behind the vessel? I could drop one behind the vessel, but then I would have to re-get this angle. I'm not sure if I'm willing to do that, Night Scout, so I'm just going to go with natural lighting. But yeah, I could theoretically put a glowstone back there. It would only really illuminate, though, the minor Erd tree. It wouldn't really illuminate the vessel. I would rather have a dark minor Erd tree in shadow, so that way the vessel stands out more in the foreground. Well, they just reuse the content in the DLCs often, so I wouldn't be shocked if they, if we have seen most of it. We've definitely have, because Elden Ring has a number of, Dark Souls 3 cut content that got reused, like, Old Wolf of Faron, the old, what was it called? Not Tree Spirit. Well, it's Tree Spirit in this game, but, I can't remember what the code name for it was, but the Pus of Man boss that was going to be connected to Gundyr in, Dark Souls 3, so, like, a bunch of the enemies and stuff, they have the assets are laying around, so they've probably repurposed a lot of them in their other games, and there's probably some more that they're waiting to find a place to fit them into a future title. Yeah, like, same thing with the whole Castle Morn grave thing and the ones we see in Altus, same thing, right? Like, those were supposed to be part of the Divine Graves area. Yeah, Serpent/Snake Soul, that's the name. Thank you for reminding me, Next Go. Alright, chat, I think I got enough shots of this stupid thing. Let's move on. Oh, God. Oh, God. Turn off the higher LOD in the fog. Oh, no. That was cancer. That was absolute cancer. Alright, I'm trying to think of minor Erdtrees which have these vessels underneath them. I don't think it's the case here. It might be the case in Caelid, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember. Still want to find out what's on the side of Trina's sword. There's an image which kind of resembles Trina / Miquella on the hilt, I recall. Not sure about the other stuff. Unless I'm thinking of a different sword. Hey, buddy. Nope, I don't see any collection vessel. No basin. How you doing, buddy? Come here often? Oh, right. I don't think there's one at this minor Erdtree. Or this one? Oh, yeah, but I wonder what the runes on the blade say. Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah, that, no idea. Who knows? Might just be gibberish. Would be cool, though, if they actually put some thought into it. Nah, don't worry, Silent Hill doesn't need using camera mods to see most of the details, understand the story symbolism. Very happy to hear that, because I certainly will not be doing it. I'm curious what's after Elden Ring. I hear they're doing a magic focus game. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If it's something I'm interested in, I'll play it. That's all that matters to me. Altus Plateau. Stormcaller Church. Perfumer's Grotto. Minor Erdtree Church. Honestly, it might help me more if they make a game I'm not interested in doing, because then I won't be sucked down the rabbit hole like I was with Elden Ring, and I can focus on my true love, Dark Souls 3. Poor Dark Souls 3. I'm never finishing those that Ring City or Ariandel post, and Londor is found dead in a ditch somewhere. Oh, all the Velka lore I've been wanting to talk about for years. That's Marika's greatest sin, chat. That is why we have to kill her. I think this one does. I think I already have a shot of it, but just in case, I don't like the shot. That was confirmed to be a lie? Oh, so the whole magic focus game thing? Coolio. Good to know. Anything important with the Erdtree bowls? Just the fact that they're placed at the foot of the trees, I wanted to highlight in Crucible's End, so... I just added that for the final draft, and now I'm getting the shots for it. ER is just DS3 too. No, no, no. ER is DS2 too. Let's be very specific. Let us not besmirch the good name of DS3. DS2 owns this win for Elden Ring. Insofar as Elden Ring completely said, oh, we can make Yuba better. Not shit. Am I crazy, Chad? I could have swore there was a vessel somewhere around here. Ah, there it is. Okay. I am crazy. I'm crazy. I'll be honest, I don't like that, chat. I think this is fine enough, right? To kill Marika, Loki needs to finish the game, so DS3 is stuck. Well, damn it. Hoist by my own petard. Loki, if you could make a Souls game, what story would you tell or what idea would you use something unrelated to current main entries? If I had the option to make a Dark Souls game specifically, I would 100% as I talked about in yesterday's stream, make it smaller scale, more localized, and have nothing to do with the whole flame dark dynamic. Let's just disconnect from that storyline entirely. We don't need to talk about which ways the universe should go. That's already been done to death. Let us explore instead some of the things about the lore we're interested in. Places like Vinheim, Astora, Londor even. Hell, even places in DS2 or something. Let us just look at the world of man, all its different countries, its facets, its relationships, its history, and explore those things in more detail. Imagine having a story where, you get to play the part of the hero who saved Astora from the abyssal creature. And From Software and stuff got to expand on that storyline. And sure, outside of the plot line where you have to kill the abyssal fiend. That was the Evil Eye, right? Outside of that dynamic, they could add or expand on so much more about the lore and the history and the background and what was going on at the time and all those things. And this would be in the middle of the height of the Age of Fire, right? So before Undeath and stuff, right? So, like, imagine just having a story told like that, but then you can choose the ending. So you could go against the canon ending, which leads into the mainline games, or you could do, like, other stuff. Like, there's so much potential there. I would love to explore something like that. And hell, you don't even have to connect it to an existing event. You could do something like Bloodborne. Create a new country with a new exploration, a new part of the existing setting, and just have us go there. And then be able to kind of expand on the lore indirectly by how this setting that you created interacts with the other countries and places that we already know about in the larger map. That'd be so much more interesting to me. There's another bowl over here, right? So, yeah, here we go. Yeah, I don't care about you, stupid bird. Guess it's nighttime. It's over here, right, Chad? Ah, there it is. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't really need to add anything here. Let's see, endless interesting fantasy worlds to dissect. That's true. That's true. From Software are just very good at doing fantasy worlds that draw you in. Like, the only reason I didn't end up going into Sekiro is, one, because, like, I wasn't, like, 100% grabbed by, like, just the setting and premise of the game. Didn't, like, fully grab me. Even though I did think the gameplay was kind of cool. But there was just so many other people that already do what I would do, just by the nature of the game. Like, you know, it's very overtly Japanese, so I knew that was going to attract people like moths to a flame. So it's like, I don't think I'm really needed here. So I'm not really interested in working on Sekiro lore. I'm sure it's already been explored in depth with all the detail you would need for someone with my perspective that could add anything to the conversation. But outside of that, like, Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Demon Souls, I think Armored Core lore has also seen a resurgence lately, which makes me happy. Like, FromSoft's just really good at creating these fascinating worlds and places to look into. Who do you think is stronger during their prime, Marika or Gwyn? In terms of, like, a straight-up fight, Gwyn. Like, there's a reason Marika had to go grab Godfrey. Like, Marika ain't doing shit in a war. If we're talking about Marika, if we're including Radagon in that, yeah, I still think Gwyn wins. Alright. I think this bowl is close enough to Minor Erdtree that its branches could have stretched this far. Oh, yeah, so totally can. But, like, looking at it again, I'm like, okay, I already have a decent shot of this. I don't need another one. And, I don't think I'm going to include it in the gallery anyway, because it's, like, sort of, like, on the line, where I'm like, okay, I don't need this. But maybe. So, yeah, I think it's fine as is what I got. What other one could we... There's not one here, is there? I want to say no, but we'll check. A new setting would be cool. That's far different from what we've seen so far. For one side, I love returning to known ideas, but I love way more knowing a new interesting world. And that's what I'm saying. You can get the best of both worlds, because it could be the existing setting and expansions on the existing lore, but it could be a completely new place. So, like, again, no matter which route you take with this, I definitely think a smaller scale Souls game is the way future for the franchise. Some people have suggested actually exploring the Age of Dark and stuff like that. Again, I think it gets a bit weird with the timey-wimey stuff. If we actually go full-on Age of Dark, I feel like it'll be It's just better if From Software and Miyazaki just don't touch that. I think Untinted Grays was enough for an eternity. Thank you. All the crystal tears are dropped by the bosses here. Okay, yeah. But whether or not the crystal tears are dropped by bosses, I still think knowing if there's a vessel here would be good. I don't see it, so I'm gonna assume it's not spawning in. We know we have a vessel here. Maybe there is one here and I'm not remembering. Wait. Oh, okay, I'm blind. Like, where the hell am I? Liurnia weather never fails to disappoint me. But it's fine, because I don't see anything I need to take a screenshot of. For a second, I thought that was a hemicyclium, and I was like, what the hell is one of you doing in this corner? Like, ain't that a coinky dink? It's actually really funny to me that I see these golden sunflowers, and I'm like, oh, these have nothing to do with the Minor Erdtree. That's the one case where I'm like, oh, golden sunflowers in the vicinity of Minor Erdtree, and I'm not sure if it has anything to do with the actual Minor Erdtree there. Oh, hey, we found another patch there, so that's kind of cool. Alright, nothing here, so... Again, I'm pretty sure there's not one here. I would have remembered it, I'm pretty sure. So if so, we'll just check over here, because my goldfish memory definitely can't remember what this Minor Erdtree's got going for it. I feel like Sekiro's narrative is more in line with what you want for a new DS game. In terms of scale, yes. In terms of actual narrative style, no. I do not want FromSoft games to go in the way of Sekiro. Sekiro is a bit too traditional narrative for me. I think it takes away a lot of the charm of the FromSoft titles compared to, say, Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Demon Souls. And Elden Ring's pushing it a bit. Like, Elden Ring definitely, you can definitely tell, and Miyazaki really wanted to get as much of Martin's expositionary story into this as possible. But yeah, even then, I still think it's closer in line to what I like about From Software compared to others developers in terms of their narratives. Like, if you want to have something that's like a bit more traditional, like go more like Armored Core, is what I would say. Like, you have Armored Core, you have Sekiro now, which I guess could technically be a franchise. I'm not seeing another vessel, so I don't think it's here either. I think those are the franchises that are okay with doing that type of thing. And I saw another one, so there's 3 patches. Oh, you saw another one that okay, cool. So 3 patches of those things. I guess the only thing I could say is that maybe the Minor Erdtree has an influence, that way they appear more often than they do in the other areas of Liurnia, because so far I think we've only found like 2 patches that are relatively close to each other. Otherwise, it's pretty erratic and random where they appear. But we also don't see any more golden sunflowers in this area, so again, maybe it's a this is closer to the Erdtree than that. But again, we also find random patches down here, so I'm not sure if that fully checks out. Either way, it's clear that Liurnia is unique due to its proximity to the Erdtree. Honestly, I can bear with some heavy explanation games, but I can't bear games with too long tutorials and that they treat you like you were dumb. Again, I have no problem with games with exposition stuff either, with traditional narrative. I'm just saying that, like, From Software has something that does something unique that can only happen in video games, and truly highlights the artistic merit to games as a medium. And I don't want them to kind of take away from that in order to, you know, what's the word, normify their audience, right? Like, hey, we want to draw in all the normies. Like, let's be honest, the normies are going to play these games anyway because they're good games. If they want to plug into the lore, they'll go watch Bhakti, right? There's no reason for From Software to change their narrative style for these games. Now, if they want to make new franchises that do kind of, like, do something more traditional, like, something like Sekiro, and to a lesser extent Armored Core, then sure, go ahead. I'm fine with that. But I think the Miyazaki Dark Souls type of game is fine as is, narratively speaking. I just want them to do something more like Bloodborne for the Dark Souls franchise specifically, and sort of like, you know, shrink the scale of what we're dealing with, so that way it can be, you know, more local, but more personal too, in terms of the characters and the relationship to the setting that they're dealing with. Right now, I think especially with something like Elden Ring, we have done the epic hero's journey that has to have, like, on universal scale to death at this point. So, I think if Miyazaki and friends are thinking of doing this again with their next game, I do worry that we might get to a point where some of their game concepts are going to start feeling stale. But granted, Miyazaki's a master recycler, so who knows? He really knows how to take some of the same ideas he's been talking about for decades at this point. Actually, no, has it been decades? Not yet, right? We still have, like, I think a half a decade more before we get to multiple. But yeah, for over a decade now, he's been basically talking about the same shit and the same ideas over and over again, but he always manages to make them feel new, so you never know. Yeah, I can't find any more of these vessels around here, so I don't even know if there's one in this area. Alright, so that tree's good, that tree's good. There's not one here, I remember. There's just the boss guy, right? Not one here, not one there. What about up here? I don't think there's one here, but I actually don't remember now. So I guess we'll double check. Yeah, I meant in scale, not necessarily same structure. Yeah. In that sense, I agree with you. Sekiro is a perfect example, but I think Bloodborne's a better one in terms of, like, overall what I would want. Still, even if Sekiro is more traditional narrative style, has less of the linear and not obvious story of From. Yeah, but it's more so in the line of, like, Armored Core, which is, I think, more in line of what a lot of big game narratives have, where, like, you have a very obvious, clear-cut main content with a lot of the world that is clear, but a few hanging, lingering questions that might require some deep lore explanation, right? But again, that's more in line with what you see in tons of games. Or at the very least, a hue's closer to it. FromSoft games, where I wouldn't call them completely opaque, there's still plenty of explanations if you follow it. Just the way they handle it and the way they dole out the exposition and the narrative details and the world building details, it's very very non-linear by comparison, and requires a whole lot more of attention in the moment-to-moment playtime. I'm not seeing it. Yep, I'm not seeing it, so. Moving over here. Last one. Yeah, it's easier to digest, more consumer-friendly. Exactly. Loki loves charting the battles in Elden Ring. Unironically, yes. I think, again, this is, again, where I will praise Elden Ring's open-world style, because while it does suffer from some of the same problems as Dark Souls 2 to a larger extent, like it exacerbates that issue that DS2 had, with lots of items that are kind of just there. Again, Stone Sword Keys, Arteria Leaves, holy fuck. How many times have I gone through the most obnoxious little exploration sequence where it's like, okay, gotta climb up here, go down there, travel down that path, you know, kind of shimmy around this way, and what do I get for my efforts? An Arteria Leaf, right? Well, it does have that issue where there's a lot of items where it's like, okay, yeah, this vaguely fits within the world or lore for why it's found here, but, you know, it's so vague and impersonal, it's like, what's it matter? Could have been swapped out with so many other items and wouldn't have changed anything, right? The actual, like, way they handled in terms of how individual areas relate to one another and how they connect and how environment deals with them and how certain items you can find in those environments help you connect them in the large scale. Like, again, like Xavier has helped so much in terms of the flower and plant life here. Like, it has not been nearly as important in past FromSoft games, those types of details. It has been incredibly important by comparison here. just in terms of understanding the geography and the cultures and the way interactions and migration patterns happened in this history of this setting. Like, that's really cool. And like you said, with the battles and stuff, like charting out battles and how the history progressed and stuff based on what we know, like, that's really fascinating stuff for me. So yeah, I think that's some of the coolest parts of the lore in the world building. Stone Sword keys feel more a bit like a mechanism used by every culture in the land. Again, it doesn't matter what the justification is. It's a generic item ultimately, and like, it's the same issue with Dark Souls 2. And it's like, yeah, sure, this is justifiable, yeah, but you could put it anywhere, and you could replace it with any. Sorry, I should say any other item, but many other items, and it wouldn't matter. Warming Stone. I guess I have too many. Interesting. Wait, what's this? Oh, it's you. Okay, I was about to be like, wait, what? I don't recognize that asset. 1 second, chat. There we go. There we go. Got rid of the snowstorm. Honestly, I love so far trying to track the movements of the armies during the shattering. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, you talk about, like, the shattering is honestly a relatively simple conflict. But yeah, like, for me specifically, because I am such a Banished Knight simp, I love working on trying to understand Godfrey Southern campaigns and things of that nature. How, when and how forts were made, how the battles and the battle lines progressed and stuff, right? Like, what territories were captured first and stuff like that. How did they approach these, taking these territories, right? Like, that type of stuff, again, I think it's all really fascinating. And is why, I'm most interested in that stuff. And I'm not saying that, like, some of the stuff that comes after is bad. Like, the Radagon lore is also very good. And the more I look into the details of that, the more I'm kind of getting sucked in. But, you know, it's... You know, when it's an era of peace and prosperity, there's only so much you can do, right? There's only so much you can do with what's getting made by who, where. I'm gonna wait until you. There we go, chat. Alright, now I was here looking for a basin. Where are these collection vessels? Where are they at? Is one here? I don't think so. Oh my god. Times 5 speed. Sometimes it can be a little annoying to pilot. Okay, I'm not seeing any. Not here. If a boss is near an Erd tree, it doesn't have a basin, if I recall correctly. Guardian, Avatar, no boss, not really a boss, but, you know, kind of, it's a tree spirit, we'll count it, boss, no boss, boss. Yep, that's pretty consistent. Let's double check this one here, just to be extra sure. Oh my god. But yeah, if this one also doesn't have it, then yeah, that's definitely the pattern. They should have put more petty family drama in the peace times. Well, here's the thing. There probably is. It's just harder to express that. Like, you could argue there's a bit of that with Godofwa's lore, from my analysis of it. But yeah, it's not something that's going to be immediately obvious, because we're not going to, like, walk into someone's house and see, like, you know, the remnants of that petty drama. Like, obviously, if you saw, like, a bunch of, like, broken vases or something, it's like, ah, this is when Miquella had a big fight with his sister over putting him in pajamas or some shit. Like, you're not gonna see that, like, just get left there. It's like, really? Did they have this, like, right before they left to make the Halig tree or something? Nobody cleaned that up during, while Radagon was around? Right? Like, there's just problems there. There's just undeniable issues with the storytelling there. I don't think Miyazaki tries to do that too often. Noble family drama and peacetime is what causes the war times. You're not wrong. I can see Marika being extremely petty as a person. Would I describe Marika as petty? Yeah, you know. Yeah. To some extent, I would definitely say so. Some of the things she does definitely, like, sort of verges on saying, yeah, that's kind of petty. It's all in Martin's book. Yeah, Martin's got the full prose. It's going to be interesting to see, based on what Miyazaki said, how much of Martin's prose they're going to be adding into the DLC. Not in terms of, like, you know, directly copying, but in terms of, like, taking that prose that they couldn't fit into the main game and then adding it there. Yeah, there's nothing else. Yeah, there's not another basin around here, so it's just going to be... Wait. Is that, It's not golden sunflower, is it? No, another one of those Erd leaves. Alright, so that's pretty good, chat. I think that covers it. Emphasis on battles in the game, as the game has it, is also a very Martin thing. Not necessarily only is, but he likes those kind of world building. Yeah, I'm curious if those are actually, like, if some of the battles and stuff are explicitly in his prose, and Miyazaki was trying to represent those in the game, like all these different battles and stuff. Because, like, for example, we get, like, a random reference to, like, a knight or whoever. I forget what his name is, but, you know, I think it's, I think you get it from the Knight Cavalry in this area and stuff. And I've connected back to a larger battle and things. So, like, is that, like, a battle that was expressly mentioned in Martin's work? And Miyazaki's like, well, I can't really have, like, the knight or the character there, so I'll just, like, reference him and, like, do some environmental storytelling to kind of insinuate the great epic battle that occurred there. Nightheart. Yeah, that's the guy, Nightheart. The barricade shield guy. Yeah. So, like, I have to wonder if stuff like that was, if not by name, because, again, from what we can tell, it looks like a lot of the names, at least when it comes to, like, maybe, like, Hoaralou, and, like, names and stuff that aren't, like, the main names of the major characters, like the demigods in Marika, those might all be stuff that were invented by Miyazaki, but I'm wondering if there was mention of, like, a knight, a great Sir Knight, or whoever who fought Godfrey, down there on the journey to Castle Morn and stuff like that. Like, those are the types of things I have to wonder, like, was that actually something in Martin's prose that Miyazaki was trying to fit into the game to some level? And is that true for some of the other battles and stuff? Maybe even all the battles that we've identified? I don't know. Fascinating to think about. Marika's at least very good at politicking. Yeah, in that respect, I would say she's the female version of Gwyn. They're both very talented in that regard. Granted, Gwyn, I think, deserves slightly more credit because he's sort of inventing politicking in his setting, whereas Marika, there's lots of precedent and stuff. Though you could argue she's kind of like just rolling with it as well, and she's kind of inventing it as she goes because she might not have any experience or knowledge of past political works. Like, who's writing a treatise about, like, Far Missoula politics for her to read or something, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe. Sort of depends on what specifics we might learn about her background in the DLC, considering we're supposed to be going into her history a bit. The hero of Castle Morn seems to have been given a lot of honors despite trying to kill Godfrey. I wonder if Godfrey granted respect out of partial regret, whereas Marika would have just leave the people destroyed and rotting like the giants. I don't know if it was necessarily regret on Godfrey's case. I get the sense from, like, just the full history that we get of Godfrey, that's more so because it was an honorable warrior who fought a battle, you know, straight up face to face, no tricks or anything. It was just a matter of, hey, I am going to besiege this entire castle with all your people in it, and he managed to rebuff them to the extent that Godfrey was forced to take to the field and fight him to the death in a battle, right? I think that's the type of character that Hoaralou, the barbarian warrior turned king, respects, and so he tries to grant him honors for that reason. I would say. Also, the fact that we have the burials and stuff for the other for the other Sun Capital residents and stuff tells me that I think there was enough respect there that they would at least give them that they would at least bury them on their own sacred ground. I would argue America is better because Gwyn used a lot of might makes right in his politics, like with Islith at the end. Ah! The thing is that, like, would America do anything different in that situation? I don't think so. Because, again, Gwyn's running up the clock. He's got a first flame he's got to deal with. There's no time to be like, ah, yes, I'm going to negotiate with this party that is in open rebellion from our alliance. Like, that's just not the type of thing that, I want to check some things in Stormvale. That's just not the kind of thing that I think, you can negotiate out of, especially with the timescale they're dealing with. It's basically, okay, we gotta pacify this area, make sure that this is all cleaned up before I leave everything to my son. Huh. It's amazing what I find that this character hasn't picked up yet because I'm so focused on other stuff. No, okay, no, that's just water. I was wondering if that was a texture glitch or something. Are there supposed to be rats here? Am I crazy? The hero of Castle Morn has a giant gravestone of his own. Well, I think the size is merely, compared to the others, is merely to highlight that he is the quote-unquote hero. Stormlord was definitely major, but he doesn't even have a monument in turn. Maybe it's regret over the total loss of it. I don't think the regret has to do so. As for the Stormlord detail, I mean, his ashes are interred at a unique chapel all the way over here. So, like, and the only other evidence we have is that there's ashes of another servant of the Stormlord. So, I don't know. I think that's a lot of ceremony and honor being given to the King of the Birds. So, I definitely think it's just a matter of respect. Plus, from the way we see it, Godfrey's respect to the Stormhawk King is showcased further by just how he treats the birds and the birds at Stormvale overall and into the future as when he returns to being Hoarah-Loux, chieftain of the Badlands. So. Just the typical thing. Wait, why am I hearing water? Oh no, that's me stepping on the corpses. Never mind. They're squishy, right? Burb Lord. The Burb Lord. The Burb Lorb. Just take out all the D's in that title. The Burb Lorb. Alright, chat. Nothing. I don't need to get shots of all the... Actually... Nah, it doesn't look as good. It looks better in motion. I'd have to get, like, a GIF or something. Okay, here's the question, chat. Is it pronounced GIF or GIF? Time to start a war of my own. Alright. I think I've exhausted Stormvale Castle for when we're doing Fringe Folk Rebellions. I'm not seeing anything I'm really missing from my existing shots. That could change. Wait. Do trolls normally look this red on their back? Am I crazy? Remember this. Oh well, not my problem. The GIF with the G. Using the hard G? Oh my. The Chirp Lord? Oh, you guys are a riot. Speaking of walking sounds, I remembered something. Someone said that walking on the dead two fingers makes wood noises. That makes sense to me. What noises do Ronnie's dead two fingers make when stepped on? Can you even step on them? That makes sense to me, though. They look pretty wooden. They look, at the very least, petrified. Yeah, this character should be the one to do it, right? Alright, I think we're gonna end things here after this, chat. Yeah, go here. Are the blue roofs important? Not in particular, no. There we go. There we go. Sounds pretty squishy. Sounds pretty corpsey. He is still... This is a very fresh kill, after all. Or at least it's supposed to be. Yep. Nothing else really to add here. Not a lot of, sound, though. Yeah, they treat this like, they treat this like muddy ground rather than a blood pool. You can see it in the way they handle the footprints. The clearly brown footprints in the red. But this sounds, I think, wet enough, right? It sounds moist. Bathe in the blood and become a Two Fingers. If you hit it, does blood fly out? I don't recall that. I think we tested that once upon a time. Oh, there is blood. It does have a blood effect. Very clearly. I wonder if he's truly flesh or just a non-dry fungus slash wood. Yeah, it's definitely a creature of flesh and blood normally, but the ones we see on top of the towers are definitely more like a wooden petrified state. No, this one doesn't have, that one's Ronnie, so let's do this one. Right. Like, you look at this and you're like, are you surprised that this is wood? It looks like wood. Right. Yep. This sounds like a generic wooden structure you would hit, for sure. Looks like wood, sounds like wood, feels like wood, it's wood. When's the Two Fingers thesis? Honestly, I would probably include Two Fingers with, like, talk about the greater will and the larger cosmology. So I actually don't know when I will get to Two Fingers. Like I said, I want other people to do most of the legwork for me, so that way I don't have to think this shit up on my own. No problem. That should be it, right, chat? Oh, well, that's not what I wanted. There we are. Seems pretty clean on the bottom. Like, it looks petrified on the outside with the skin, right? But that's about it. Honestly, if anything, the skin right now kind of reminds me of the trees in Altus, right? The white bark trees. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's coincidence. Because it could just be, you know, like gray petrified skin, right? But it definitely reminds me of, like, the white bark trees that way. And if the idea is supposed to be that this is all wood. Kind of cool. I don't know why these ones have been dead for so long. It doesn't seem like they only just died. The Tower's Respective Great Runes holder dying. For sure. It definitely wouldn't make sense in that context. Now, granted, it could be the manner... Okay, so... If the idea is that the owner of the Great... Okay, if the idea is that the owner of the Great Rune, for whatever reason, is tied to the Two Fingers and the Great Rune that they owned, right? If for some reason some bond or connection was made there, and that their death would cause the Two Fingers holding it, harboring it in the tower to die. Who knows? Maybe you can even argue the Two Fingers is the reason we cannot enter the tower prematurely. It's using some weird magical fate bullshit in order to keep the tower sealed and thus the fingers protected with its rune. Let's just say that that bullcrap is true, for the sake of argument. Then the idea would have to be that because the owner died, something in that bond kills the two fingers along with it, and is causing a petrification state, compared to the case with Ranni, where she's quote-unquote alive in spirit, her two fingers is quote-unquote alive, and then she has to kill it using the curse mark, and that curse mark prevents that petrification process. Maybe because there's some sort of disconnect between the power of gold or the greater will and something, so then for when it's killed with the rune of death, it just simply dies. It doesn't go under this sort of, dendrification. The two fingers don't die, they become trees. Yeah, that's the only thing I can really... is the curse mark really what's killing the two fingers, or did she just carve it out of spite? I assume it's the curse mark, because, there's a huge, huge hubbubaloo made out of the idea of her getting it and freeing herself of her fate. And the idea that the weapon that is used to, carve the curse mark is the same used to kill a two fingers in the past, so... I don't imagine that she's just like, ah, well, it's already dead, but, you know, I'm just gonna, you know, double dead it. Also, if the Rune of Death originated in the Elden Ring, would it really need to be applied separately to make two fingers die that way? Okay, so the argument would be, if the Rune of Death originated in the Elden Ring, so it was part of the Elden Ring, would it really need to be applied separately to make two fingers die that way? It would depend on exactly how the two fingers relate to the Elden Ring specifically. Like, are they subject to the same rules of the Elden Ring as everyone else on this world? Or is it because the two fingers being envoys of the greater will itself, are they in some way, separate from that? Would be the question, I would say. Anyway, I need to kind of finish things up and get the post ready for tomorrow morning, guys. So I'm going to end this here. Going to finish my final draft. Thank you so much for chatting with me. Really enjoyed it. Wonderful having y'all here. Great stuff that we were able to find. Yeah. So, later.